I'm not down on the Lakers. And I love the Patrick Beverley acquisition. He is a Hall of Fame pest. If there was a Hall of Fame for pest, he would be in it. Somebody that's going to ruffle your feathers and agitate you. And I'm not just talking, Doggy and Swagoo, about the opposition. I'm talking about your own teammates. Oftentimes, I've joked about this in the past, and I don't mean it in its literal sense when I say goon, and I'm not talking about Patrick Beverley, but I've often said if I was the president of basketball operations for a franchise, one of the first things that I would get is a goon. One of the things that I was most proud of that turned the Knicks around and made them respectable during the Pat Riley years and made them championship contenders. It wasn't just that they had Patrick Ewing. It wasn't just that they had a guy that they pulled off the scrap heap in a John Starks. It was Mason and Oakley who followed Xavier McDaniels. And it was a message. We ain't getting pushed around. We gonna be in your face, and we gonna be professionals at making life incredibly uncomfortable for you. That's how they were able to take Jordan to a 7-game series when they were relatively young in the Pat Riley era, because you could be that kind of team. The NBA has modified the game to such a degree where that's more difficult to pull off these days. But if anybody knows how to do it, it's Patrick Beverley. So I'm thinking about how he's idolized LeBron James all of these years, but it didn't stop him from competing against LeBron James and others when he went up against them. I'm thinking about how he and Russell Westbrook couldn't stand one another, and they talked about each other when they went against each other. Patrick Beverley was in Minnesota. He was one of the dudes screaming, he with us, when he was going against Russell Westbrook, and Russell Westbrook had the ball in his hands. Patrick Beverley is going to be one of the instigators going to change all of that. And I think that the Los Angeles Lakers need a personality transplant as much as anything else. You, Anthony Davis, you always getting hurt, you're going to hear about it with the Patrick Beverleys in your locker room, because he's going to have a contagious effect on other teammates. And you're going to have guys speaking up and speaking out and holding people accountable. And people don't realize how important that is. It really comes down to the greatness of LeBron and Anthony Davis, and more importantly, the culture not being compromised. And Patrick Beverley is going to bring that Kobe-like culture to the Los Angeles Lakers, in my opinion.
I think they will be better. I agree with your overall point, but there's a reason why Stevie A, Patrick Beverley's been on a million teams. There is a reason why Minnesota blew 2 games at home this year in the postseason in Memphis when he was on the Timberwolves, 30-point leads. He is not that good.
Well, one of the games, Karl Anthony Towns took 4 shots.
He's not that good. You're going to tell me that Patrick Beverley is a big-time player?
No, I'm not saying he's not.
He's a routine player.
But
I admire him.
Not a routine personality.
Yeah, but you got to win.
That matters.
You got to win. You got to win. No, you got to be on the court and making baskets and playing 40 minutes and scoring 20 a game. I mean,
no, you don't. No, you don't have to score 20 a game. That's the point. No, you don't.
Yes, you
do. When Patrick Beverley is on the court,
they need a guy in the backcourt to score 20 a game.
When Patrick Beverley is on the court, they hold. Listen, you always say he's done his job. Yeah. That's where it starts. Go ahead, Swagoo.
Doggy, come on now. Listen, do you consider P.J. Tucker a good basketball player?
Yeah, yes. Good role player.
Been on a lot of teams. Very valuable to all of those teams.
He's a starter, though.
He's a starter
who's a role player.
Because he has a significant role.
He's on Philly now. That's going to help him.
And see, here's the problem, because my son is in youth basketball, and this is the problem. And this is why what you said, Stephen A., is so poignant. Everybody ain't going to score 20. That ain't the reality in the NBA. The reality in the NBA is you got 2 or 3 guys on a team that are going to do majority of the scoring. You think the Golden State Warriors give Draymond Green $80 million, $90 million because he can score the basketball? No.
Not at all.
He's doing exactly what Stephen A. is talking about. Patrick Beverley is going to do for the Los Angeles Lakers, like he did for the Los Angeles Clippers, like he did for the Minnesota Timberwolves last year. This is a great pickup. All right, we talked about last year with the age, and they tried to bring in Melo, who we know is a scorer, a high volume shooter, all of that stuff.
Melo with his personality.
His
personality is what I'm saying.
Patrick Beverley is exactly what the Los Angeles Lakers needed.
Boy, you guys are making Patrick Beverley out to be Jerry West.
No, not at all.
Easy.
Not at all.
He's a role player. He's
that's
50.
Right.
He's
but
a 10 to 12. Fine, but that's not going to win you an NBA.
The point is, a lot of times, That's what's missing, the role player. We're saying role. Stop acting like we're treating him like a star. We're talking about he's a Hall of Fame past, and he's a role player.
The reason why I said,
He's
10 minute a game player. The reason why I brought up PJ Tucker, the reason why I brought up PJ Tucker, doggy,
you're making him out
is
to be
because the reason why I brought up PJ Tucker is because he was an integral part of them winning a championship in Milwaukee.
Tucker is a useful player. I'd like him on my team. But let's not say he was the key to the Milwaukee Bucks.
No,
nobody said that.
He did not say that.
Yeah, Mad Dog's getting a little carried away. There's not a single person out here that's saying Pat Bev is an all-star, Pat Bev will drop 20, and he's going to turn the Lakers around by himself. What we're saying is he's a great addition because he's something that the Lakers were lacking last season. Last season on the Lakers, no one took accountability, and that's not going to happen again this season. Westbrook got angry at the media, his coach, and his teammates anytime they tried to call him out. Anthony Davis barely played and then said if he would have played, the Lakers would have been much better. Well, you don't say. Why didn't you show up and try to play through some of those minor injuries? He never plays through any type of injury or any type of contact, and I hope Pat Bev can change that. It's not about Pat Bev dropping 20, and the Lakers don't need him to do that. What they need is a role player that's going to hold people accountable and play some defense. The Lakers were horrible on defense last season. They have guys that can drop 20. LeBron can drop 20, AD can drop 20, even Russ can drop 20 when he gets his head right. But this team needed something on the defensive end, and they got that. Another big point that Mad Dog and others keep forgetting is the Lakers have a lot of pressure from being in the purple and gold. Every other team plays their best against the Lakers, and the Lakers have to hold up to that. That's why you see them lose so many close games against bad teams, because bad teams play very well against the Lakers. The Thunder did it, and so did a lot of other teams. Especially now with LeBron, the Lakers have a target on their back every single night, and Pat Bev will help keep the team focused and not play into all that extra stuff to help get these easy wins, because last season, the Lakers couldn't even get easy wins. Pat Bev was a good pickup for the Lakers, and it's not about him dropping 20 or being an all-star. It's about his defensive presence. They need someone on that side of the ball that can help hold people accountable. But let me know in the comments what you guys think of the acquisition of Pat Bev, and leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more NBA content just like this, and I will see you in the next upload.